Noon here, Ohio State against Michigan. Go to Danielle Dwyer, who's live in Columbus right now. Danielle, you can hear me okay, right?
Yes, Dan.
Here's something you probably didn't know. Archie, Griffin, and I were born within about a week to 10 days apart, and he and I have a lot in common. Combined, we've won 2 Heisman trophies.
All right, Dan. Well, you know, I mean, that's not exactly true. I mean, but I'll take your word for it. Archie is the only NCAA player to win 2 Heisman Trophy awards. Now, he was up for the award 3 years in a row. He won it his junior and senior year. And we've been talking all morning about the rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan, how important that is to the players, current and former. And we were talking about that, how it kind of the 10-year war between Bo and Woody. And what better person to know that than somebody who played under Woody Hayes for 4 years, the Hall of Famer Archie Griffin. Hear what the former Ohio State running back had to say about the rivalry and his memories playing under Woody Hayes. What are some of the memories that stick out to you about playing under Woody?
Well, the thing that sticks out with me is that Woody really, really wanted to win that football game, as I'm sure Bo Schembechler did as well. But the Michigan week was always a special week. He would always have former players come in and talk with us, and I'll never forget my freshman year, which was very memorable for me. We had a guy come in to talk with us. He was a former defensive end for us from Massillon, and he came in and he talked to us, and he was yelling and screaming, and he had tears coming out of his eyes. I mean, the whole works. I mean, I couldn't believe, you know, the type of things I was hearing, you know, coming from a former football player who's played in this game. And he was telling us about all the bad things that Michigan had done to him, this, that, and the other. And I looked around the room, and I had teammates who had tears in their eyes, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what have I gotten myself into? I mean, this thing is really, really real. But before he finished his speech, one of the things that he said that I'll never forget, he said, you know, this is not just any game, this is war. I mean, he came out, I mean, he was just unbelievable with his enthusiasm in regards to the game, and the tears that was coming out of his eyes, and looking around the room, and everybody's got tears in their eyes, and it was just an unbelievable feeling. And when we went out to practice, we had a great practice. Woody would always have a Michigan mat on the floor that we can step on every time we would leave the facility. But one of the things that really sticks out in my mind is that we always practiced for Michigan under Coach Hayes all year long. When we practiced in the spring, it was always geared towards Michigan. We would run against the Michigan defense. First day of practice every week during the regular season, we spent on Michigan. So it was a big football game, and you knew it was a game that Coach Woody Hayes wanted to win. I mean, it was just that special. And probably the last thing I'll share with you is that I'll never forget my senior year. When we played at Michigan, 1975, and we were having our pregame meal. And at the hotel, there was nice-looking ladies serving us, and they were probably co-eds at University of Michigan. And as they were serving us, you know, guys were looking at these nice-looking girls and whatnot. And Woody caught that, and he went into the kitchen. And he grabbed the cooks, who were guys, and he told them to come out and serve us, because Bo Schembechler planted those girls there to distract us. And that really broke the whole group up. We broke out laughing, couldn't believe that Woody had done that. And you could see Woody smile a little bit too when he did it, because I think what he found out was that we were a little bit too tight, and he didn't feel that you could play a game if you were real tight. He felt that he needed to loosen us up a little bit, and that did it, because we all just broke out laughing and couldn't believe that Coach had done something like that. But he would do things like that, I mean, because that game was just that important.
Obviously have a lot of fond memories of the rivalry of playing under Coach Hayes. You had an esteemed career and are still involved with the university. What's the rivalry mean to you?
It's without a doubt the best college football rivalry in the country. I mean, it means everything. I mean, it is the game that athletes go to Ohio State to play in, and it's the same for athletes who go to the school up north. They go to that school to play in that Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. I mean, it's everything. This is what it's supposed to be this year when it comes down, that we're playing for kind of like all the marbles, because whoever wins this game certainly will have a chance to play in that Final Four group for the national championship. So it really does mean everything.
When Jim Harbaugh went back to the maize and blue last year, a lot of talk about the rivalry renewed now with these teams, going back to the Bo and Woody days. Obviously, both teams highly ranked this year, second and third currently. Do you feel that sense? Do you agree with that statement that this is a rivalry renewed?
I think it is. I mean, I think the rivalry was always there. Don't get me wrong. I think the rivalry was always there. Regardless of records, the rivalry is there. But this makes it extra special. Second, number 2, and number 3. I mean, it almost brings you back to 10 years ago where it was number 1 and number 2. So it's one of those games that people look forward to, not only the players, but the fans. I mean, I got to tell you, the fans are very, very excited about this matchup on Saturday. So it's going to be fun.
Do you think Harbaugh and Meyer could be the new Bo and Woody?
I think they already are the Bo and Woody, because I can tell you that Harbaugh, even with all his little quirkiness, he's brought that program back to prominence, and Urban Meyer has certainly followed in the tradition of Jim Tressel and kept our program top notch. And those two guys, like Bo and Woody, don't like losing, and certainly don't like losing to each other.
Some great memories there from Ohio State Hall of Famer Archie Griffin. Now, he mentioned how they always practice for Michigan, and I was talking with some of the players for Ohio State earlier this week, and they all kind of had the same mindset for that I remember linebacker Joe Berger said, it doesn't matter if we're 0-11 or 11-0, the only thing that matters is beating that team up north, and that's their mindset, and that's definitely what they're going in to this game today with. But we have plenty more coming to you live from Columbus, but for now, back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks a lot. All right,